Joining me is Clay Smolinski, Portfolio Manager at Platinum Asset Management. Clay, thanks for joining us. 5G is upon us, the new mobile network, which will get switched on, as I understand it, for the Commonwealth Games next year in Gold Coast.
Yes.
And also for the Winter Olympics in Korea next year as well. They're trialling it in both. So let's start by what is the 5G network? What does it do and why should we care?
Okay. So the first thing to specify around 5G is that when we've had 2G, 3G, 4G, and now we've got 5G. In all the old Gs, so 2, 3 and 4, it was actually a completely different way of encoding and broadcasting the message. So when you rolled out those networks, it was, you were almost rolling out a completely new network. They didn't interface with each other perfectly. 5G is a little different. 5G is not a new way of encoding and delivering the message. So in that regard, it's almost like an infill technology to 4G. It's a continuation of the same technology. What does 5G do? And in its most simplest form, it is just another evolution around speed. So speed, which is latency, so it's that quickness of response, and then throughput, which is can I pump,
how much data?
How quickly can I, how much capacity can I download gigs versus megabytes? And without really drilling into too much of the heavy technology, that's what you need to know. It's just another evolution of speed and latency.
So can you put that in perspective in terms of the speed for us on 5G?
Yes. So
relative to, say, the NBN, dare we talk about it on the...
Yeah. So the difficulty is always nameplates.
Yes.
So there's the nameplate capacity, and then there's reality.
That's what happens.
So you had nameplates of 4G. People would talk about their network being able to operate at 100 megabits per second, but you never really got that in real life. But what you saw from a move to 3G to 4G was often a 5 to 10-fold increase in speeds, and I suspect. Let's just take the last end, maybe another 5-fold increase in practical speeds is what you could have with 5G from 4.
Yeah.
The other specific around 5G, and we are getting into the technicals around this, but it is something that you can, with this technology, so if we think about 4G, you have a tower, and it sends out the information in a radius. But that information goes out homogeneous across that entire radius. So think of a circle. 5G has this technology which is called beamforming, which essentially means we can send information to a specific site or area. And you hit upon it when you said it's going to be rolled out in the Gold Coast for the Commonwealth Games and Korea for the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, just in small areas.
In small areas and in stadiums. You go to Docklands and you try and use your phone during a big match or the grand final. The reception's terrible. It's because you have too much of a concentration of everyone trying to access that network in one space. That problem could be solved with this beamforming, because you can send that beam and place it on the stadium, which dramatically increases basically the capacity of that bandwidth with them and how much information you actually can send to that stadium. So this is actually a technology that can get around some of those problems. In terms of the practical, what does this mean for the telcos? What does this mean for consumers? So we think it's one of those situations where it's great for consumers. It's probably great for businesses who can piggyback on that network. Do we think this is going to be a massive change to the economics and the profitability of the telcos? Probably not. We've seen these evolutions over the years. Each evolution has gotten better. We think about how useful our phones are to us today, but have the telcos actually been able to extract more rent for that? Are we spending more on telephony than we were 10 years ago? Not really. And it's that underlying problem is all three telcos in Australia will get it, and it's highly likely that it will, it'll be hard for them to monetize that at a much greater rate. So great for you and I, maybe less good for Optus, Telstra and Vodafone.
Clay, thanks for putting perspective on something that's just about upon us, and appreciate your insight.
You're welcome.